Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Shawn's Riff Time Machine. Thanks for joining me today. Happy Saturday. Hope you're loving life. I'm sitting in the dark today. I know you probably don't care, but the reason is because sometimes the light gives me a weird, reflection off my face. And rather than upgrade my gear or production, I'm just going to turn the light off. It seems to solve the problem. So I want to talk about one of the biggest bands that I think is super underrated today, and that is Vader. Vader's a Polish band. They started way back in 1983, so they're like contemporaries of American thrash. They kind of started speed metal-y, thrashy on their way to death metal eventually. So think about Accept, and then moving on their way up to what they are now. Formed in 83, first album didn't come out till 92, so they had a bunch of demos, but in 92 the Ultimate Incantation was released, and that's kind of how they carved their niche in the world. I'd heard this a long time ago. It's probably heavy metal folklore, but they were one of, if not the very first active metal band that formed behind the Iron Curtain. So kind of special. And even if that's not true, they still are old school in a country where this was not common. So Piotr, he's the only remaining member. They've had so many lineup changes, it's ridiculous. But he's basically been the sole songwriter ever since. So not much has changed. They've seen some great musicians come through, whether as recording or touring. Half the guys in Decapitated have played in Vader at one point. And one of the things I really love about these guys when I first heard them was the vocal style. Peter's vocal style is very like throaty. It doesn't make sense. That sounds ridiculous. I totally get it. But in the context of the music, it's unlike anybody else. It's not very growly in the typical sense, but it's a special voice. First time I would have heard these guys was back somewhere in, late 2002, 2003, something like that, when I first heard Radio Chaos, which was like a local radio program. It was on Sunday nights. And so it would have been about the time Revelations came out. But it was quite a bit later when I actually jumped in and discovered what these guys were all about. And I've liked most of their records. They're a bit samey sometimes, but I swear any record they put out has got something on it that just will make me smile. Peter's playing style, he does a lot of tremolo picking. In fact, I feel like he has a lot of like black metal influence in the way he plays, but just follows more like death metal chord progressions, or it doesn't sound like black metal, but it's played similarly. And then the drumming is always just top notch, super fast. The song I chose to play today is called Lead Us, and it's from their Art of War EP. And there's so many songs I could pick. Vader's so good. They've got songs that sound like Slayer. They're a little bit slower, thrashy, and then, of course, just balls to the wall death metal. But this song specifically has a killer blast beat in it. Super heavy and powerful, and it's one I've always loved. So it's just the first little bit up to the solo. This is Lead Us. Go check out Vader. They deserve your time and way more recognition than they have. Cheers.